Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Last session, we started to learn. We ended off learning about the qaf. This session, we will go in more detail about the qaf with the forms and writing and reading, and we'll also go on to learn the next letter after the qaf that we'll learn in this session, which is da'in. So, as I said last class, I'll show you how to write the qaf on the board. So you can see in front of you the forms of how to write the qaf. Here it's its standard form. I'll show you how to write it. As you can see in the steps, go above the line, go under the line like the noon, then we go back above the line, and we put the two dots on the top. When it's connecting to a letter after it, here's its form. It's like that of the fa, except there's two dots on the top. Oops. So, just like the fa, it rests on the line. The connecting part rests on the line, and we just put two dots on the top. And then when it's being connected to by a connector before it, here's its form. So you would go from the letter before it straight to it, so you can keep a smooth flow. Like that, and then whatever would come next, and here, this is the extension to keep the smooth flow from the letter before it. So say for example, there's a scene before it. See, so there's the extension, so it can keep a smooth flow. Of course, it would be on the line, not below the line. Something similar to that. Okay, we'll go ahead and go for our practice assignment. Here are the first 3 rows. Go ahead and do them. Once you're done, we'll go through them together. Pause your video and do them, then we'll go through them together. Remember to read and write. Read it, then write it once on the line. So now we'll go through it together. قلبا قلبا كفل قريب قريب. Here we have the fa. فقير فقير. Remember the qa has heaviness. فقير, not fakir. فقير. شقراء أبقار قل قلاق قلاق أوراق 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 not أوراق or أوراق أو أوراق أوراق ق أوراق not cat أوراق would have been for the calf cat أوراق or أوراق أوراق سوق not سوق سوق. Go on to our last row. Do it and then we'll do it together once you're done. Okay, now we'll go ahead and do it together. You should pause and not do it before. You should pause and do it before we go on. First word of the fourth row. Baq. We have a shadda on the qaf. Baqqa. Baqqa. Shidda, not sukoon, meaning there's like two qafs. So baqala, baqalan, 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 muqamirin, muqamirin. Here we have the hamza. استرقاق استرقاق استرقاق. We'll go on to our next practice assignment, which is distinguishing between the qaf and the kaf. We'll go on to our next letter that we'll be learning, which is the letter ayn. The letter ayn. The letter ayn has four forms, as you can see. Its standard form, the form when it comes in the beginning of a word, the form when it comes in the middle of a word, and the form when it comes at the end of the word. The letter ayn, which is a consonant, as you can read here, has no English equivalent. So there's nothing in English with the same sound as ayn. The ayn is like a choking sound. The sound of the ayn is ah, ah, ah. Now my throat kind of hurts, so maybe it's not as clear as it should be, but it's like a choking sound, like kind of when somebody's choking you by your neck, ah, ah, like that. That's similar to the ayn. Ah, ah. It's not or it's There's a squeezing, tightening of the throat, which is like a choking sound. The top of the letter in the standard form, as you can read here, is like a small C. Starts like a small C and then goes again like a larger C. So I'll show you this in front of you now so you can see it. The standard form of how to write the ayn. We said that the top part's like a small C, then we go on to the bottom part, which is like a larger C. Okay? As we said, there's four forms of the ayn. The ayn, when it comes in the middle of the word, is like this, as you can see here, and when it comes at the end of the word, it's like this. So when there's a letter before it, you would bring a line to the left, go up, back to the right, like you can see in front of you, and then go back down. It's very simple. This is the ayn when it comes in the middle of a word. You do need some practice for this letter, I would say, because, well, it does seem to take practice. For me, it was pretty easy to learn. The most part that you need practice with, more than anything, is the sound of the letter. The. So practice that. It actually hurts your throat a bit, but go ahead and practice the sound of the ayn. Here we have the ayn when it comes in the end of the word. The ayn when it comes in the end of the word. What we would do is, as you can see in front of you on the screen, you would bring the line, go up, curve it, so then bring it back down. As you can see in front of you, go up, then you bring it back like that, go back down and curve it. Obviously I can't quite write it because, well, as I said, it's too difficult to write by computer. Unfortunately, I would rather write it so you can see. I hope that it's enough that you can have a look at it and that I explained how it should be done. Here you would go from the, I could do it by imaginary pen. I mean, it's not quite the same, obviously, but you would go from the letter before it, go up, curve it, yani bring it like that, and then back down on the line. And then for the end in form, bring it from the letter, go up like that, then back down. So we'll go ahead and do our practice. Here's the ain in the beginning form. So go ahead and do these first two rows, and we'll go through them once you're done. Remember, we said the ain has 4 forms. Beginning form, standard form number 1, beginning form, which is this, number 2, middle form number 3, and the ending form number 4. We went through all the forms except the beginning form. We didn't show you how to write the beginning form because the author didn't provide that in the book. So it's just, as you can see, you would just like a kind of small squished S, I guess, backwards, or not backwards, but very much squished. It's kind of how you write the ain in the beginning form. So we'll go ahead and read these together. You should not continue without doing them first. The first row, remember, we want to read smoothly. We want to keep on reading until we become smooth. The more practice, inshallah, the better. This is the way it is in this world. We need to keep practicing in order to master anything that we do. So if we cut it up, we read slow, we have to keep on repeating it until it becomes smooth in order to master this course and to get the best out of it. So let's go ahead and read. عيوب عيوب عالما, the ain with alif, عالما عالما عالما, not aliman, عالما عالما. The ain with the za, with the ya, with the za, and the double kasra. The double kasra. This line here is what? What's it called? Called the fatha. If I made a mistake in past lessons, I'm sorry for that. I noticed that I made some mistakes with the terms of the words, or sorry, the terms of the short vowels. This is a fatha. This is kasra. This is dhamma. Kasra, fatha, dhamma. Kasra, kasra, fatha, dhamma. If I made any mistake, I'm sorry for that in past lessons. That's why I'm making it clear now. This is the fatha. The fatha, the line is the fatha. It's called the fatha. It makes the sound the short vowel. We went through this many lessons ago. This is the dhamma. This is the kasra. So I'm just going through that because I noticed that in past lessons and sessions I mistakenly called the fatha dhamma and the kasra fatha, so I made some mistake with the terms, so I didn't want to confuse you, so I'm trying to clarify it now. Here we have the ain with the fatha, makes the sound followed by the za, az, ya, e, aziz, za, aziz, then the double kasra. The double what? The double kasra. What sound does it make? In, azizin. Go on to the second row. The ba with the fatha, ba, followed by the ain, ba, ba, followed by the ya, ba'i, followed by the dal, ba'id, followed by the double. What's this here? The double what? The double fatha. What sound does the double fatha make? An. Why is there an alif after that? Why is there an alif? Because we have to put an alif after the double fatha. Why? That's the rule. What sound does the alif make then? Nothing. It's just silent. Ba'idan. Ba'idan means far away. Ayubun here means something bad, errors. Aliman means knowledgeable. Knowledgeable. Azizin means somebody I love, somebody close to me. Okay, so now we'll go on to our next word. The meme with the fatha, ma, followed by the ta, mat. We have the sukoon here, it's not clear. So there's no, what's the sukoon do now? Here, I'm having little quizzes in this, whatever it is, this practice lesson. The sukoon does what? It means there's no short vowel on the word. So it's just, there's no matta or matti or mattu. It's just mat, mat, followed by the ayn with the, what's this here? The fatha. Matta'a, matta'a. Followed by the meme with the, what's this here? Followed by the meme with the double dhamma. What sound does the double dhamma make? Un. Mat'imun. Mat'imun means restaurants or restaurant. Okay? We'll go on to our last word of the second row. We have the ya with the dhamma. Remember we said the ya has three sounds. It can be e, or it can be ai, or it can be ya, the sound of the y. How would we know which sound it is? In our course in the university, the teacher didn't tell us how we would know, but I assume by myself that the more you study the language and you understand it, you will be able to identify which form of the ya it is based on the letters after it, based on the context of the sentence and the word. Just like in English, some letters you can figure out this is silent, this isn't, this means this means that, because we know the language. We have a firm understanding of it. Now we're in the beginning stage, so we would have to just, I guess, try and see which one makes the most sense. But since we don't know the meaning, we would be actually kind of lost in that aspect. For me, I do know meanings of many words in Arabic. You may also know. If you do, then you will be able to identify which of the forms it is. The Arabs, of course, they would be able to identify which of the forms it is because they already have a firm understanding of the language. So here the ya. The ya with the dhamma with the ayn. Here the ya is not e. It's using the sound, the y sound. Yeah. You, hu, you. I'm doing the because of the what's this letter called? The ayn. I'm doing the because of the ayn. It has a sukoon on it. There's no short vowel. It's not or 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 it's just so yu'li nuna. So that means yu'linuna. I don't really yu'linuna. I don't know if that's a word. Could mean cursed. Allah ya'lanak. Yu'linuna could mean something similar to cursed or being cursed. We'll go on to our next 3 rows. So let's go ahead and go for the next 2 rows. Do them first, and then we'll go through them together. We'll pause for the adhan, then we'll go through them together. and do them together. امتناع ساطع صرعي صرعي. We remember the عين. صرعي. Fa, here we have the عين with the shidda. فع. Shidda makes it as if it's double عين, meaning that as if there's a double عين. عين followed by عين, so it would be fa عين. Then we have the alif. فعلا. It's kind of difficult because of the choking sound with the عين. فعلا. Here the lam with the alif, not making la an, is just lan, because we said the lam with the double fatha makes the sound n, then we have to follow it. I mean, the anything with the double fatha makes n. In the lam, when it's followed by a alif, this is its form. We would write it like this. That's why we wrote it like this. فعالا. دموع, meaning tears. Here we have the ta with the ain again with the shidda with the fatha. طعام. Not طعام. ط, we have the ain. طعام. We'll go on. طعام. We'll go on for dictation. 4 words for dictation. 4 words for dictation. I'll read the words twice slowly and once at a more normal pace. First word. عيوب. 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 The second word. بعيدا. Remember to listen for the ain, the sharp vowels and the long vowels. بعيدا. The third word. The third word. امتناع. Remember to listen for the short and long vowels. امتناع. Okay, the last word. Give you some time to write, then we'll go on to the last word. The last word. عالما 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 عالما, not aliman or iliman. عالما عالما. Okay, we'll go ahead and go through them together now so you can see how you did. The first word was عيوب. عيوب. So check your answers and see how you did. The ain here was in the beginning of the word with the dhamma, followed by the ya acting as a sound y, not e. It's not yubun, it's e. Yeah, y sound, not then the ya acting as e. It's not doing that. It's not yubun, it's yubun. It's acting as a y. Yubun. Yubun, not ubun. It's not ubun. Yubun. It's not doing that. It's uyubun. U. So the ya is acting as a y sound, not a double e sound. As we said, it has three sounds that it can represent. If it was making the double e sound, it would have been like this. Iyubun. Iyubun. But it's not. It's yubun. Yubun. Making the y sound. Okay? Second word. Go ahead and check your answer. The second word was بعيدا. بعيد. Here the ya was acting as the double e sound. بعيدا. Then we said n have to follow by alif with the double fathas. Ba, we have the ba with the double, or the ba not with double, but the ba with the fatha. Ba, that followed by the ain. Ba, ba, followed by the ya acting as the double e sound. Ba'i, followed by the dal. Ba'id, followed by the double fatha. Ba'idan, we have to put the silent alif at the end. We'll go on to our third word. The third word was imtina'un. So check your answers. Imtina'un. Imtina'un. Here we put the kasra under the alif because we're representing here the hamza. The hamza is for the short vowels because we can't just put the kasra or the fatha or the dhamma on their own here in the air. They have to have something as their base or something on them so they can be represented. So here, that's what's the hamza for. That's what we learned. That's the purpose of the hamza. So here it's this alif with the kasra is making the sound e. Imtina'un. Here the ain is at the end. It's not connecting to the alif because the alif is not a connector. Imtina'un. Choking sound of the ain. And then here we have what? What's that? The double dhamma making un. We'll go on to our last letter, or our last word. Our last word. عالما. عالما. Our last word. عالما. Here we have the ain in the beginning of the word. A, followed by the alif. A, followed by the lam. Ali, with the meme. Aliman, double fatha. An, Aliman. We'll go on to our next assignment, distinguishing between hamza and the ain. Hamza acting, remember we said the hamza is for the short vowels a, e, u. In this case, it seems to be representing the a form. Then the ham and the ain a. So go ahead and do the first row, then we'll go through it together. Okay, you shouldn't continue on without doing them first. We'll go ahead and do them together. Remember to do it first before you go on. The first word, an, 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 an. أبدا أبدا عبدا أبدا عبدا. We'll go on to our next 3 rows. Remember to do them first, read them until you read it smoothly, and then also write it. Remember, it's a reading and writing course. So go ahead and do it. Then we'll go through it together once you're done. Okay, we'll go ahead and do them together now. Remember not to go on without doing them first. Hamza, a, azalin, azalin, azalin. Amalan, 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 amalan. Sa'ala, 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 sa'ala. Wa'adun, وعد 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 وع وأ وع وعد وعد. 4th row. مأمورا مأمورا معمورا مأمورا معمورا مأمورا معمورا. متألم 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 متعلم متأ متع متأ متع متألم متعلم متألم متعلم متعلم متأ lam has a shidda on it, but it's not clear here, but it does, and it also has a kasra, so متألي متعلم متعلم. Go on to our last row, the 5th row. Go ahead and do it, then we'll do it together once you're done. Okay, we'll go ahead and do it together now. Ba, ba, ba. Remember that alif is long sound. The alif is long. Ba, 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 ba. Okay. سمع 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 سماء سماع سماء سماع سماء سماع سماء سماع smoothly سماع 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 سم سماء سماع سماء سماع. What's the difference? This Hamza and the Ain Hamza Ain سماء سماع. Take some practice to distinguish between the two, to hear the difference somewhat, and also to be able to pronounce the difference. سماء سماع سماء سماع. Remember to keep the long vowels long. سماء سماع سماء سماع 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 سماء سماع سماء سماع. So remember to keep the long vowels long. The Hamza the Ain سماء سماع سماء سماع سماء سماع سماء سماع سماء سماع. Okay. We'll go on to our next lesson, our next practice assignment. We'll go on to our next practice assignment, which is distinguishing between the alif and the ain. Okay, go ahead and do the first 3 rows. Once you're done, we'll go through it together. Remember not to go on without doing them first by yourself. Then we'll go through it together so you can check your answers, see how it's to be read. Remember to read it and write it on the line. We'll go on for the first row. ما ما مع ما مع بدا بدا بدأ بداع بدا بداع بدا. The third group in the first row. رخا. Remember the kha. رخا رخاء 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 رخاء. The second row. زال زال زعل زال زعل زال زعل زال زعل. باد بعد باد بعد. سال سال سعل سال سعل. دام 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 دعم دام دعم داس دعس داس دعس داس دعس ناس نعس ناس نعس ناس نعس ناس people نعس sleepy ناس ناس نعس ناس نعس. Okay, go on for our next assignment. We skipped the dictation for these last two assignments. I gave you a break from that. We'll go on to our last assignment of this session, inshallah, which is reading and writing exercise. We read the sentences as we did before. We did this kind of assignment before, and we would write them. These sentences are real Arabic sentences and real words. So go ahead and do the first row. We'll go through it together once you're done. Okay, we'll go ahead and do it together now. Remember, you should have read it first, then wrote it before going on. So we'll go ahead and read it. في المكتبة not مكتبي في المكتب طالب في المكتب طالب. في means there. في المكتب in the office. طالب, there is a student. There is a student in the office. Second row, go ahead and do it. I'll put the next two rows actually, so you can go ahead and do that. So go ahead and do the next two. We have 6 total, so let's go ahead and get started and do them. Okay. Remember not to go on without doing them first yourself. The second row. الورق في مكتبي البريدي. Smoothly. الورق في المكتب البريدي. ألا و. Here the wow is acting as a W. الوراق في مكتبي البريدي. Again, smoothly. الورق في مكتب البريدي. Okay, third row, which means الورق, the papers, في, in, مكتبي, the office of the barid, of the mail. The papers are in the post office, the mail office. سلام سلام عليكم سلام عليكم سلام عليكم وعليكم سلام سلام عليكم وعليكم سلام سلام عليكم, which is what I say every session, means May peace and blessings, or may peace be upon you. Salam. Alaykum. Peace be upon you. Wa alaykum salam. And to you be peace. And may peace be upon you. Salamun alaykum wa alaykum salamun. We'll go on to our next 2 rows. Remember, we have 6 rows to do. Go ahead and do these 2. Read them first, then write them, please, before we go on together to do them. Okay, we'll go ahead and do them now together. سأشتري. Smoothly. سأشتري لوازم البيت مساء الخميس. Now we have to read it smoothly. ساء. Remember the hamza a. Here we have the fatha ساء. What's the purpose of the hamza? Because you can't just put the short vowel in the air. سأشتري or not سأشتري لوازم البيت مساء الخميس. سأشتري, I shall buy. لوازم, the necessities or the needs. البيت, for the house. مساء, evening. الخميس, Thursday. I will be buying the groceries Thursday evening. He should have said inshallah, but it's okay. He must have made a mistake. وَأَذْكُرْ رَبِّكَ إِذَا نَسِيتَ. This is just a side note. And remember your Lord if you forgot. It's not part of this session, I'm just saying. Anyway, we'll go on to the 5th row. Here we have the ya with the dhamma on top, and we have a fatha before the ya, and we have a sin. Sa yusafiru, smoothly. Sa yusafiru akhi fi al-isbu', but we have a kasra under it, so it can't be al-isbu'i. Al-qadima, smoothly. Together, the whole sentence. Read it all together now. Yusafiru, not u. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. That's a yeah. Obviously, it's not u. Sayusafiru akhi fi al-isbu'i al-qadimi. Again. Sayusafiru akhi fi, remember the long e, akhi, my brother, fi al-isbu'i al-qadimi. Sayusafiru, he shall travel. Akhi, my brother. Fi, in. Al-isbu'i, the week. Al-qadimi, next. Okay, so my brother will be traveling in the coming week. You should say inshallah again, but I guess it's just for education, so it's okay, I guess. Okay, the last row, go ahead and do it. Go through it together once you're done. In this course, for the last few assignments, I didn't give you any dictation, so you're having it easier than we did in the university. Plus, we used to have quizzes after every session. I gave you some quizzes, but many of the sessions I did not give you any quizzes. So I'm trying to keep it easier, but at the same time, I'm trying to keep it, to give you the benefit of the education and the ultimate benefit from the course. Okay, so go ahead and read this sentence, write it, then we'll go through it together once you're done. Remember to read and write. Take your time, read and write. Trying to keep the sessions shorter so you don't feel overwhelmed. We're actually getting close to the end of the course. MashaAllah, we're nearing the end of chapter 5 in our book and going on to chapter 6. We only have 3 more chapters left in the book that we're using by Sheikh Bilal Phillips. Okay, the book called Arabic Reading and Writing Made Easy. Okay, so let's go ahead and read this together. Remember, don't go on without doing it first yourself. سأل المسافر عن not an عن معاد or موعد سافر. سافري. Again, read it all smoothly again together. سأل المسافر عن موعد سفري. One more time. سأل المسافر عن موعد سفري, meaning سأل, he asked, المسافر, the one who's traveling, عن, of or about, موعد, the time, سفري, his travel. The traveler asked about his traveling time. عن موعد سفري, his traveling time. Okay, so as I said, we won't be doing dictation, although we should. I'm giving you a break. I'm trying to keep it easier for you. The dictation would have been full sentences. That's what we would have did in the university, and the teacher would give us like 0 time to do it. I'm not doing that. I will do it for some sessions, but for now we won't have it for this. We will conclude this session, inshallah, and I hope to see you next session, and I hope that you're well. See you next session well, and I hope that you are well. Remember, everyone, we would like to make dua for our ummah. Even though this is a Arabic course, still this is an Arabic Islamic school. We do want to make dua for our ummah everywhere, for ourselves as well, personally, and our families personally, as well as for our ummah, because our ummah is suffering severely in many places of the world. We hope that Allah will remove their suffering and give them strength and health and power, and remove from them the transgressions and the hardships of their oppressive leaders. So remember to make dua for the ummah everywhere, and for Allah to help us everywhere. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuhu.